Today we're looking at this video. Hold on, let me get my mic here. What's up, YouTube? Today we're looking at a video about LeBron. You know LBZ, L-E-B. It's basically the industry kind of saying how they felt about him ever since he came into the league. So let's get into this video.
If you had the chance to dunk on any NBA player, who would it be? You might think of LeBron, right? He's often debated as the best of all time. However, for Cooper Flag, it's clear that LeBron isn't his GOAT. That sentiment is nothing surprising. What he just unleashed is shocking, unforeseen, and rapidly gaining attention.
Who is the kid that's like 7 foot, the center, the one that Ja dunked on, Wembley? Yeah, I want to dunk on him. That's who I would want to post like.
Suddenly, he unveiled a harsh reality regarding LeBron and disclosed why numerous people in the league harbor animosity towards him. Allow me to elaborate. Why do NBA players have animosity towards LeBron James? It seems fair to assert that LeBron ranks among the least favored players in the NBA today. But Cooper suggests that the discord may have begun the instant he joined the league. In 2003, an 18-year-old LeBron James stepped into NBA locker rooms, carrying the hopes of many as the most anticipated talent since Michael Jordan. The expectations soared, media scrutiny was relentless, and the pressure reached unprecedented levels within the league. However, what many failed to recognize is that his own teammates were, in fact, wishing for his failure from the very start. I recognized the authenticity the moment he arrived. You sense it too. It was inevitable that he'd eventually catch on and master the sport. Paul Silas, LeBron's first coach, disclosed that several Cavaliers felt envious of LeBron's acclaim and achievements. In an unexpected confession, Silas remarked that their pride could not tolerate it. I repeatedly urged them, saying they had an opportunity to support a future icon in the sport, yet they refused to accept him. This went beyond mere rookie initiation. It felt much more intimate. Prior to the 2000
by shooting 4 for 6.
Yeah, I fucked this video up already, y'all. Push this shit.
hours into the league became mere side notes in the narrative of LeBron James. The feelings of bitterness were unavoidable, striking at a person. However,
alright, we're gonna have to edit all that shit out. What up, YouTube? We looking at a video today on LeBron James GOAT conversation. We got some of his peers that are saying things about him. We just gonna see. You know, we all got our opinions on this man, but I'm just gonna see what the league's saying. Let's go.
If you had the chance to dunk on any NBA player, who would it be? You might think of LeBron, right? He's often debated as the best of all time. However, for Cooper Flag, it's clear that LeBron isn't his GOAT. That sentiment is nothing surprising. What he just unleashed is shocking, unforeseen, and rapidly gaining attention. Suddenly, he unveiled a harsh reality regarding LeBron and disclosed why numerous people in the league harbor animosity towards him. Allow me to elaborate. Why do NBA players have animosity towards LeBron James? It seems fair to assert that LeBron ranks among the least favored players in the NBA today. But Cooper suggests that the discord may have begun the instant he joined the league. In 2003, an 18-year-old LeBron James stepped into NBA locker rooms, carrying the hopes of many as the most anticipated talent since Michael Jordan. The expectations soared.
They just said, he asked the question, why are people hating on LeBron? But I think he answered his own question when he said he was being compared to MJ coming in the league. He didn't show no proof that he was anything like Jordan, right? I mean, he was a good player, right? But so are a lot of these kids. So I think when you got NBA players that are out here playing their hardest and they're not being compared to Jordan, and you got this kid coming in and he's being compared to Jordan already, I think it's going to be some hate in that situation. I mean,
Media scrutiny was relentless, and the pressure reached unprecedented levels within the league. However, what many failed to recognize is that his own teammates were, in fact, wishing for his failure from the very start. I recognized the authenticity the moment he arrived. You sense it too. It was inevitable that he'd eventually catch on and master the sport. Paul Silas, LeBron's first coach, disclosed that several Cavaliers felt envious of LeBron's acclaim and achievements. In an unexpected confession, Silas remarked that their pride could not tolerate it. I repeatedly urged them, saying they had an opportunity to support a future icon in the sport, yet they refused to accept him. This went beyond mere rookie initiation. It felt much more intimate. Prior to the 2003 NBA draft, Carlos Boozer, a forward for the Cavaliers, openly remarked that there were superior players in his position already on our roster, casting doubt on LeBron's quick influence. However, the most revealing insight emerged from LeBron himself, years afterward. In a rare moment of openness, he reminisced about those formative years. My teammates, the ones I practiced with on the flight, shared a locker room with, and faced in games, seemed to carry a sort of animosity, bordering on disdain, toward me and what I could bring to the team. Think about that for a second. A young 18-year-old suddenly in the limelight, managing the resentment of seasoned professionals.
I'm just saying, okay, like imagine you worked at this job, right? Imagine you worked at this job for 5 or 6 years, right? And then like there's this talk of this new manager that's gonna come into your position, or to be your manager, right? And you feel like you should have that position. You've been here this long, you've worked this hard. And then there's somebody else that comes in and instantly get this position. Like naturally, you're gonna critique everything they do, right? Like you're gonna see if you feel like they deserve this position. And that's like kind of the issue when people are labeling you something.
Professionals who envied his promise even before he stepped onto the NBA court. Veterans such as Eric Snow, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and Jeff McInnes were not entirely in his corner, probably stemming from envy regarding his spotlight and anticipation. A significant illustration of this initial hostility was seen with Ricky Davis, the team's top scorer prior to LeBron's entry. Davis, a guard determined to stay the main offensive threat, participated in just 22 games during the 2003 to 2004 season before being dealt to the Boston Celtics, indicating tension with LeBron's burgeoning prominence. It's a contrast between excelling and adapting to the NBA landscape. He entered the league quite young, and honestly, I don't believe he was completely prepared during his initial season like he is now. Davis later shared his thoughts on the mentality of that period, describing the cultural divide LeBron symbolized. Back then, as Davis noted, the NBA seemed to declare no boys permitted. Yet LeBron was shifting that entire paradigm. This trend of envy and bitterness extended beyond just Cleveland. A recurring theme that would accompany LeBron during his journey unfolded in various forms, influenced by his teammates and rivals alike. The groundwork was laid. LeBron James wasn't merely a player, he was a game changer, a figure who upended the status quo merely by his presence. But what was the reason behind it? What prompted seasoned professional athletes at the peak of their careers to exhibit such resentment toward a teenage newcomer striving to establish himself? The explanation can be found in the intricate psychology that defines professional sports, where ego, rivalry, and survival instincts converge to form a volatile mix of tension. The Cavaliers lineup during LeBron's initial stint featured veterans who were used to being the team's center of attention. LeBron's debut as the top draft pick and the chosen one label fostered an environment in which certain teammates felt eclipsed, resulting in reported jealousy and a breakdown of team unity. This situation extended beyond the confines of basketball. This revolved around identity, significance, and the anxiety of fading into obscurity. When an athlete like LeBron enters the scene with immense anticipation, it does.
And not only that, like he's making a lot of players who've been doing this for a while realizing that it's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it up.
Doesn't solely impact the initial roster. It influences how everyone views their worth and position within the pecking order. The media frenzy was unmatched. Every action taken by LeBron was scrutinized, examined, and shared with countless viewers. At the same time, veterans who had poured countless hours into the league became mere side notes in the narrative of LeBron James. The feelings of bitterness were unavoidable, striking at a personal level. The intrigue deepens when you consider how this initial hostility set off a chain reaction that would shadow LeBron throughout his entire career. The fiery clashes. If you believe the conflicts during his debut season were fierce, brace yourself for what lies ahead. As LeBron advanced in his career and his impact expanded, the hostility didn't merely linger. It surged into high-profile clashes that captured media attention and forged enduring rivalries. Here's where narrative gains intrigue, as this transcends mere whispers in the locker room. We witness athletes publicly challenging one another on national broadcasts, fiery disputes that came dangerously close to violence, and instances that unveiled the profound animosity directed at LeBron James. A stunning revelation emerged from an unforeseen origin. Mario Chalmers, who played alongside LeBron during the Miami Heat's title chase. The crucial contest was between him and Paul George. What's your take on that? Here we are in transition. George Hill dashes to the edge. I sprint alongside George Hill. Paul George halts at the wing and launches a three-pointer with Brown defending him. That's all I got to mention. Naturally, we return to the bench. I'm sort of losing it all, you know? We really need to quit treating this like it's just a game of basketball. You might assume that winning 2 championships together would forge ironclad relationships, but the truth is a lot more complex. Chalmers, who was the starting point guard for the Heat while LeBron was there, talked about how challenging it could be to play alongside LeBron due to his overwhelming presence. In a 2017 interview, he remarked that playing with LeBron can be difficult at times simply because of his sheer dominance on the court. Will the coach prioritize including the entire team or defer to Brown on when to engage others? This is where things become particularly intense.
And see, that's what I mean, right? Your ego, whatever, right? But when this man steps on the court and the coach start calling plays that helps him get more points, the owners of this team is kind of backing that too. So now you're somebody who been here, you've been helping this team grow, even though y'all ain't got no title. You've been helping this team grow, right? You've been doing what you can do, playing your part, right? But then when LeBron comes in, I think if you're honest with yourself, you start to see that your part didn't matter, right? It wasn't enough, right? And you can either go harder or you can be mad. But in the end, it's your decision. Because if you've been there this long and y'all ain't won no title before, and then this kid come around, and now y'all starting to win more and get more accomplished, as a coach, you would kind of not be smart to not play that guy more, or make plays to get him open.
2025, a shocking viral video emerged featuring Chalmers, who made a candid confession that reverberated throughout the basketball community. He disclosed that in a pivotal playoff match, he confronted LeBron, calling him AF*********ing, and implored him to cease being AF********ing and step up, referencing LeBron's occasional mental fragility. The footage captures Chalmers recounting this altercation with remarkable specificity. He explains how LeBron reacted negatively to being challenged and how the situation intensified. But the most telling aspect is this. Chalmers positions it as a duty, aimed at firing up his teammate, yet the underlying strain is clear. Essentially, he's saying, you're the top player on the court. Quit holding back and get out there. And today, that struck a nerve. So it felt like, you suddenly came at me? Me? You took action. Yes, you confronted him. I didn't insult him. I told him to quit joking around like that. It's the same thing, you feel me, that made him angry. We all recognize that this is a sensitive word for Brown. This went beyond mere trash talk or playful exchanges. In a vital playoff situation, a teammate publicly questioned LeBron's grit and dedication. Chalmers' ease in recounting this event years later indicates that such confrontations were likely not rare. No ex-teammate has criticized LeBron as openly as Kendra Perkins has. Once a supportive ally, Perkins has transformed into one of LeBron's staunchest adversaries. Their ongoing rivalry has unveiled deep-seated animosities rooted in years past. Perkins and LeBron's connection dates back to their 7th grade encounter, followed by their time together on the Oakland Soldiers AU squad. Additionally, they were teammates with the Cleveland Cavaliers during the 2014-15 and 2017-18 seasons. However, this shared background has intensified the bitterness of their present conflict. Tensions escalated in 2024 when Perkins called out LeBron for overshadowing others ahead of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. LeBron expressed admiration for Kyrie Irving, voicing frustration about no longer playing alongside him. In response, Perkins unleashed his fury on NBA Today, claiming LeBron was maneuvering to hog the attention during someone else's big moment, diverting focus from the finals while the Lakers weren't in it. Once more, we find ourselves in this situation.
Hey, chat, y'all let me know, is this hating or is he just doing his job? Because he is an analyst. He is supposed to, but with their past, is this hating?
Once more, we find ourselves in this situation, infiltrating another's special time. Seriously, allow someone else to shine. This is not your show. Your squad is back home. This concerns the Celtics and their fans. Yet here you are, fuming and upset because you're not the one making a late entrance like Kyrie Irving. Yet, Perkins had more to share. In a surge of heartfelt honesty, he laid bare the emotional costs stemming from their fractured bond. During a candid segment on the Travel podcast, he discussed the business implications of their conflict, outlining his role as a media figure tasked with upholding his reputation. Here's the deal, you see, and I truly require that. Here's the deal, my friend. I've got a responsibility to uphold. You see, I intend to fulfill.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Where's that? Forget it. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to say, but LeBron hairline was flip-flopping.
That responsibility. No one's going to sway me into voicing something I'm not comfortable with. You get me? I'll evaluate everyone with impartiality. If you're not interested, I'll send you some blooms. If I decide to indulge in drinks, I'll let you know. The most shocking
Mariana,
element
what
of
up?
Perkins' feedback surfaced when he disclosed that LeBron had removed him from his social media followers. In response, he blocked LeBron's number. Perkins remarked, "He disconnected from me." Later, I cut him off on my phone, making it clear that the arguments had taken a toll on our friendship. Yet, the most significant part was when Perkins confronted the obvious issue: their years of friendship. Man, we've been tight since way back in '99 or 2000. I don't need the middle ground. I don't require a call from Rich Paul, bro, to talk for you. You have my contact info, it's true. If something's bothering you, don't hesitate to reach out. If I feel I've messed up on a broader principle, we can work through it. This was more than just evaluating the game or critiquing the press. This story revolves around a bond shattered by LeBron's quest to manipulate stories and his refusal to take criticism from those closest to him. If you seek insight into the profound resentment some athletes harbor for LeBron, consider Joe Caminoa. The ex-Chicago Bulls center did more than just dislike LeBron. He appeared to thoroughly loathe all that LeBron stood for. Yet, he was a spargan, and he's definitely a stunner. There were instances when, you found yourself trailing by 20 points, taking a free throw with your non-dominant hand. You were moving around the court, but I wasn't into it at all. So I made it clear that I wasn't engaging with any of that. The rivalry between Noah and LeBron largely emerged during LeBron's time with the Miami Heat. As the Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat became fierce rivals in the Eastern Conference, they clashed in numerous heated games, notably the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals, where Miami triumphed over Chicago. This went beyond mere competition for Noah. He had problems with LeBron's character, his flair for the dramatic, and what he viewed as bias from the officials. In 2010, during the Bulls playoff matchup versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, Noah stirred controversy when he remarked, "I don't know about that, man. I'm from Chicago. We don't dance. Cleveland's not great, to be honest." The hostility ran personal and was deeply entrenched. Noah's tough, blue-collar demeanor stood in stark relief to LeBron's refined, media-friendly persona. Cherished by Chicago fans, Noah perceived LeBron's move to Miami as emblematic of the super team phenomenon, a change that many athletes believed altered the NBA's competitive landscape. And those trying to join this side think they're interpreting it wrongly. This is our domain. This is the arena of competition. This is your moment to stand for something. Your representation doesn't matter to me. This is about the Chicago Bulls. That's the bottom line. Years later, Noah would contemplate the fierce competition. Yet, even with time's passage, the strength of his emotions remained clear. He recounted the irritation LeBron's prowess caused him, the officiating that favored LeBron, and how it spurred him to fight back with more vigor. Any talk of dislike for LeBron would be lacking without examining the Paul Pierce narrative. This was more than mere rivalry. This rivalry ignited with one of the most contemptuous moments ever seen in the NBA. Kendra Perkins recalls that during a preseason match in 2004, Pierce directed saliva at the Cavaliers bench, where James was present. This unparalleled act of disdain reportedly established the foundation for their ongoing animosity, with Perkins indicating it almost escalated into a confrontation in the locker room. Yet, Pierce's animus extends beyond this incident. It's rooted in a profound, personal, and unyielding feud. In 2020, Pierce included James in his selection of the 5 greatest NBA players ever, listing Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant. His critiques surpassed mere rankings. He has continually questioned LeBron's character, drive, and overall legacy. Pierce contended that, unlike his chosen players, James hasn't created a franchise from scratch, emphasizing what has LeBron done to establish any organization from the ground up. The intensity of their rivalry was perhaps most evident when Pierce was probed about their dynamic. Perkins asserted that Pierce and LeBron are at odds and remain silent towards one another to this day. This isn't merely a matter of sports competition. It's a deep-seated hostility that has endured for more than 20 years. We'll explore how this ongoing cycle of clash and critique has transformed into a more intricate and contentious saga. The latest disputes and personal turmoil reveal a figure who, in spite of his achievements, consistently stirs division and animosity in his wake. Current debates. Few topics have sparked as much debate lately as LeBron's approach to his son Bronny's path in the NBA. What was expected to unfold as an inspiring tale of a father-son duo pursuing their dreams has instead turned into a focal point for accusations surrounding nepotism, elitism, and the erosion of merit-based success in sports. Even Stephen A. Smith, usually an ally of LeBron, reached a tipping point that stunned the basketball community. In an emotional appeal on First Take, Smith offered one of the harshest evaluations of LeBron's role as a father and his choices we've witnessed. I genuinely aim to show the utmost respect for LeBron James. I'm entreating LeBron James as a parent. Please stop this. Stop this. It's widely recognized that Bronny James's presence in the NBA is largely attributed to his father's legacy. This observation wasn't merely critique. It was a heartfelt outcry from individuals who witnessed the way LeBron's prominence distorted what was expected to be a fair system.
What y'all think, chat? Y'all think Bronny only made it because of his dad? Y'all don't think that Bronny was a good player, high school, college, G League? I mean, if we're looking for him to be his dad, then yeah, at this point he may have fell short, right? But if we're just looking at him as the average rookie that comes into the NBA, most of these guys don't get no time to play ball. Like the first year or two, they on the bench. So, I don't know. What y'all think? Did he get in the league just because of his dad?
Yet, Smith wasn't isolated in his discontent. Gilbert Arenas also voiced his concerns about the preferential treatment Bronny appeared to receive, especially regarding his G League deal with the South Bay Lakers, where he was initially restricted to participating in home games only. Arenas humorously recalled his own experience as a player navigating similar circumstances, underlining the disparity in opportunities afforded to different athletes. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches, he struggled defensively and has gone scoreless for the last 38 minutes of play. Compounding the issue was Kwame Brown's critique, which offered a fresh viewpoint. On the debate, Brown, who has navigated similar obstacles in his early career, expressed a heartfelt opinion on the situation's injustice. I'm curious about their reactions. What will those players say now? Is that really the direction we're heading? ESPN is showcasing this platform. You can score on ESPN. Then they question why folks on YouTube and others discuss it. It's not hate, it's just foolishness. It's absurd. It just doesn't add up. You expect me to support one black man solely because of his race and his father's race. Brown contended that other draft candidates were eclipsed by LeBron's fame, suggesting it was a manipulation by the media. His remarks addressed the core of the matter. This issue transcended simply uplifting black achievement. It delved into privilege and nepotism masquerading as chances for growth. Just when the Brownie affair appeared to be the height of LeBron's controversies, he ignited an even greater uproar with his remarks on ring culture within the NBA. What initially posed as a philosophical exploration of how we assess greatness swiftly turned into claims of hypocrisy and self-serving rhetoric. LeBron voiced his dissatisfaction with the league's obsession with championships as the ultimate standard of greatness, remarking, "I don't understand why it gets so much attention in our sport and why it's seen as the be-all and end-all." He contended that iconic athletes such as Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash should not be judged harshly for lacking championship rings. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Paul Pierce, never one to shy away from addressing LeBron, presented a sharp critique that laid bare what countless observers viewed as LeBron's core hypocrisy. There must be a criterion to evaluate this. And what's the purpose of playing the sport? Do you think it's about the recognition or the wealth? As a child, the game is about triumph. You're constantly evaluated by your desire. And in athletics, that principle remains unchanged. Pierce confronted LeBron, highlighting what he viewed as hypocrisy regarding LeBron's shift from Cleveland to Miami in 2010. He argued that joining forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh was clear proof that LeBron focused on championships above all. The strength.
Hey man, look. If you're going to play any sport, and you're going to say you're not doing it to win or get championships, belt, gold medals, whatever it is, right? Like if you're boxing and you're going to say you're not boxing to get a belt, you full of shit. There's no other way to put it. If you're in the NBA and you're saying you got in the NBA, right, and the goal wasn't to win a title at some point, I don't know what to tell you. So when you got your Iversons, your Barkleys, people who didn't win a title, they'll even tell you that they wanted a title. Cut it out.
The Pierce's argument lay in its straightforwardness. It begs the question, how can you condemn ring culture when your own career has revolved around the pursuit of them? I recall LeBron's departure from Cleveland aimed at chasing titles in Miami, right? Wasn't that all about securing a ring? Absolutely. No doubt, right? Because he aimed to complete his legacy. Stephen A. Smith continuing his clash with LeBron regarding the Bronny's incident. added his harsh critique. Who's downplayed LeBron? That's the nonsense we must cease allowing him and his entourage to spread. Many individuals have done so. Here we go again. No, no, no. Pardon me. When we mention the GOAT, in many people's minds, it's Michael Jordan. Smith criticized LeBron's rejection of ring culture as absurd, claiming that LeBron's own behavior contradicts his viewpoint. He emphasized that LeBron's transitions from Miami to Cleveland and then to the Lakers were all fueled by desire for titles, rendering his present position seemingly contradictory. He is widely acknowledged as one of the 3 greatest players in the annals of basketball history. What more could you ask for? A bib and a diaper? Seriously, what's next? Should we be spoon-feeding you applesauce? Goodness, what else is there left to say? Aside from declaring he's not the one. Even Charles Barkley, noted by LeBron as a prime example of an elite player lacking a championship, appeared to challenge LeBron's handling of critique and disputes. The situation escalated to new heights of ridiculousness during the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend, as LeBron's actions drew backlash from unlikely sources. Kendrick Perkins, who is already in a beef with LeBron, discovered yet another opportunity to criticize his old squad. Am I upset that Brian isn't participating? Not really. I understand his age is 40. However, I'm frustrated with his approach. Plus, I'm still quite annoyed. Hey Brian, just put your uniform on already. Seriously, you've completely messed up the whole vibe. Mo, get your uniform on too. That really says it all. It came across as him being quite self-centered. His actions appeared quite self-centered. Perkins took aim at LeBron for his tardiness to the NBA All-Star Weekend and his last-minute withdrawal from the game, which barred injury replacements like Norman Powell from participating. This criticism extended beyond the mere choice itself. It highlighted LeBron's approach, once again prioritizing his personal interests over the well-being of the league and his peers. Among the recent controversies, one of the most surprising arose from an unlikely source, MMA fighter Chael Sonnen. As LeBron faced the turmoil surrounding his son Bronny's cardiac arrest, Sonnen dropped a bombshell.
Hey, that's some power, right? That's some power to not show up to an All-Star game, withdraw yourself at the last minute, and not get fined or nothing. That's kind of like showing you the face of the league, ain't it? That's some balls. Brian ain't playing.
That reverberated through the sports community.
Said
he accused LeBron of utilizing performance-enhancing drugs, alleging they had the same physician and suggesting a link between LeBron's purported EPO use and Bronny's health crisis. Although these claims were unverified and met with widespread backlash due to their ill-timed nature, they underscore the hostility some harbor towards LeBron. One of the latest and most telling developments in the ongoing LeBron saga has been his battle with the media, a notable confrontation with Stephen A. Smith reached a boiling point when LeBron challenged Smith courtside a Lakers game, demanding he leave Bronny out of it. However, the conflict with the media extends beyond mere protection of his son. In March 2025, LeBron's time on the Pat McAfee show brought to light his disapproval of ESPN figures such as Stephen A. Smith and Brian Windhorst, showcasing a recurring theme of manipulating narratives and stifling dissent. The players who have spoken against him aren't simply envious competitors or disgruntled ex-teammates. They're individuals who have collaborated, engaged in competition, and observed his conduct for over 20 years. Their critiques transcend his on-court skills. They target his integrity, his handling of interpersonal relationships, and his tendency to place his personal agenda above that of his teammates and the game itself. When Mario Chalmers challenged his mental fortitude and Kendrick Perkins severed their long-standing friendship due to differing views, the signs were unmistakable. Joakim Noah's overt disdain for his character and Paul Pierce's unyielding skepticism about his legacy highlight a recurring theme. While LeBron James reigns supreme on the basketball court, within the locker room, and amongst his fellow players, he has forged a controversial legacy marked by division that will resonate long after he hangs up his sneakers. The real issue isn't if NBA players dislike LeBron James. The proof is clear that a considerable number do. The issue at hand is whether that animosity is warranted and founded on the accounts of those closest to him. It's difficult to contend that it's not. Enjoying the
Alright, y'all. I feel like the more Brian play, like, yeah, you breaking records, but to be playing this long and not have these titles too, to play with these teams that are dominant, that have won titles before without you, it's kind of like just retire, bro. Like, you got your son in, y'all played together. That's another record that you have, or something that was never been done before. It's like, at this point, Get out of there. Get out of there. But in the end, Bron is still one of mine. I want to say top 3 for sure, but he's kind of now moving to like top 5. I'm not lying. And it got nothing to do with his character. It's just all how he hoop, you know. Just think it's time to hang it up. That's all. Yeah, he's accomplished everything. There is really nothing else for him to do, but it's like he won't sit down. And I get it. You going at Jordan, right? You trying to outdo Michael, but I can honestly say, even if you get another ring and get 6 like him, or however many he got, even if he gets 6 like him, I don't think people understand that he still ain't gonna outdo MJ. You know, even if he get like, let's say he gets 7 rings, right? I still don't think that I can say, right, he's the GOAT, right? Can we say he's better than MJ? Yeah, on paper, right? All day long. Nobody can argue that, right? But that's the problem from stats and visuals. You know what I'm saying? So if you now watch clips of Jordan, right? And you watch clips of LeBron, let's say the same points, right? Let's say we watch Jordan when he first came in, we watch LeBron when he first came in, right? Then we watch Jordan 2-3 years in, then we watch LeBron 2-3 years in. It wouldn't be a conversation of who's better, right? Even on paper. This man has 10 scoring titles. It's nobody messing with him, bro. And that's just my opinion. You know, if you feel like LeBron's better, that's your opinion. And this is not an argument, right? I'm just saying 13 to 15 years compared to 20. I think the 13 gonna win every time, bro. Like, just my opinion, man. But to be real about it, like, I don't gotta compare either one of them, right? Like, I think both of them are great players, but if we're gonna compare, I gotta be honest. You know, like my understanding of honesty or my opinion is that's my honesty, right? So I gotta do that. I gotta speak that, right? I just don't understand. Like, at this point, bro, just get out. You feel me? Get out, man. You get to keep, everything, bro. So I don't know, man. Like I said, you can't take nothing from that man. I appreciate him as a player. I enjoy watching him. I feel like Bronny gonna be just as good. It's just he's gonna take more time to get there. I don't know if Bronny gonna break all the records, but Bronny gonna be considered a good player. I promise. So I don't know. Anyway, Chad, I gotta run and do something right quick. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. I might hop on keys, or I might just look at some more videos. I don't know.